Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy second recording on this Saturday. So guys, I have a quick word for you guys. I was chatting with someone and I wanted to bring this to YouTube as well. And this will not, everyone won't be able to relate to this, but if it pings your spirit, then you know what time it is, right? So I was listening to a young lady's YouTube video. It was like the very beginning of August, right? And basically she was telling her subscribers, that August is a great month. Number 8 is the number of, I think it's completion if I'm not mistaken, and that God will be doing major things and major breakthroughs. He's bringing kingdom partners and X, Y, and Z in August, right? She felt this very, very heavy in her spirit. And, I felt too like August is a great month as well. I felt August and September I just felt that in my spirit as well. So I wasn't disagreeing with her. But as I was looking at the comments in the live chat, some of the people were so geeked up, like they were stuck on that word, that breakthrough, major breakthroughs were happening in August. So during the end of the month, I think it was maybe like August 27th, 28th, and she came back on. And she was basically, telling the subscribers, some of you, your breakthrough haven't came through, but, don't be disappointed. We still have a couple of days left and X, Y, and Z and so on and so on and so on and so on. And so then, you could see the few people who were probably going through some disappointments because September was almost near. They kind of got amped up again, like, okay, she's right. There's still, a day or two left in August. And then when September entered, she made another recording. It was just a general recording, like as far as like keep the faith type recording. But as I was reading through the comments on that particular video, no one said it, but my spirit was alerting me that there was a lot of heavy spirits within that chat room and within that comment section. Meaning some of these people literally had their mind, their heart, and their spirit locked in on the month of August. They were believing for their kingdom spouses, their purpose partners. They were believing that everything would be fulfilled in August. Not even opening doors. It will be fulfilled in August. And so I had never commented. Actually, I was new to her channel, so I had never commented or anything. I would just kind of like listen to her chats every now and then. But the spirit was telling me so heavy to make a comment on this post, and you guys already know. I mean, I'm the bold one. I'm the obedient one. So it is what it is. So I made this comment, and I can't remember exactly my exact words at the time because I was moving in spirit. But it was it was related to basically, God is God. God is God. God is not going to allow us to figure him out. Point blank, period. Now, again, there's some times where God will give you, of course, certain downloads and, certain things happen. But in some scenarios, you will not figure God out. And in fact, if you keep trying to figure him out on this certain timeline, he's going to back away. Because it's almost like you're idolizing that day, that month. You're obsessing with it. And so I believe sometimes, and again, this is not all the time, because I've had downloads at times where God told me certain months and it happened. But I also believe if we're not careful, that can be the trick of the enemy. Because what happened is we're sitting here thinking like, oh, God is not a liar. God doesn't lie. He said August said this. And then what happens when the next month comes in and we realize like that dream, that vision, that promise was not fulfilled? Now we're questioning our faith, right? Am I even hearing from God correctly? Is God upset with me? All these stuff. And before you know it, you can mess around and start just doubting God. You can start doubting your promise to the point like, well, obviously it wasn't true. September is here. I'm just using these months for an example. September is here, and it didn't happen. So obviously, it was all a lie. It was never true. So I made my comment, basically around what I'm saying now. And I logged off. I went to do something else. I'll make a comment, don't even check back. But every now and then, for some reason, my notifications do come through. And I got a notification. It was from one girl, and I could see in my notifications her comments, and it said something like, "Oh my goodness." I wanted to say this the entire month of August when I see everybody getting amped up and stuff like that. And she said, I felt, the heaviness as well, when August was nearing. And she's like, "I'm just so shy." And I wanted to comment so bad and say that. I wanted to say God will not allow you to figure him out. He's God in many scenarios. But she said, I just couldn't do it. So because I got her one comment, then it directed me to go back and look at the comment I had made, I think a day or two prior. Over 189 likes in less than 24 to 48 hours. I mean, at least 80 comments I can think of. And it was just people saying the same thing, like, "I'm so glad you said that," because I just really believe when it didn't happen in August that, my promise was all a lie, and X, Y, and Z, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. So I wanted to share that with you guys, especially if there's one of you in here, maybe someone who you really esteem, and you're locked in on their word and what they're saying. And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm not saying that, because again, sometimes I'm just saying that a lot in some scenarios, please stop being locked on certain dates and certain times and certain years, because sometimes it ain't gonna always come through. As connected as I am and as spirit-led as I am, I can honestly say that probably 90 to 95% of the times when I hear something is always on point, right? I can only think of one scenario where this is some years ago. One scenario I really, really thought I heard from God, right? Oh my, I was so locked on this thing, and honey, it was not God. That was Satan just testing me, because I just kind of starting getting more spiritually inclined. My little heart was so hurt. But I also realized that was God's way of also training me to hear his voice directly versus what someone else says. Use people as confirmation. Go to your source for revelation. I always say that. But there was also a time recently, actually, less than a year ago, that I believe I heard from God about a certain month too. I was locked in on it. But I was also mindful, because that first, scenario had taught me something, but I was also mindful to make sure that, have faith, but also protect your heart, guard your heart, because I didn't want it to not come through and then be so heartbroken that I'm in a season of disappointment and I can't even get up the next day to keep it moving. So as clear as I thought I had heard from God about that particular month, it didn't happen. And yes, I was disappointed, but because I had guarded my heart and understand that God is God and I can't always figure him out, then I was okay, maybe 2 days later, and I got back up and I continued to journey along. So if there's anybody who's listening to me and you were told a certain date, a certain month, a certain year, and you're feeling very disappointed, understand that it's not going to happen. It's just that sometimes God will back away, because again, God is God, and who are we to be trying to figure God out? He'll give us a word. For me, like I said, because I'm so spirit-led, he gives me downloads all the time, and he gives me words all the time, and it always is. But he never tells me when, and sometimes not even how. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't tell me how. It'd be me who trying to put these certain dates on because I think I heard this, or I think I heard that, or Satan might have dropped some old foolishness in my spirit to throw me off. Sorry guys, my keys are pinging. So yeah, and if you heard from God about a certain month and it happened for you, by all means, awesome, great. But it may not happen like that all the time, and so just guard your heart and just still keep the faith. Get back on up. and said, okay, it didn't happen in August. It's going to happen, but it will happen on God's timing. And keep your eye on God and not idolizing the promise or idolizing that month or that time frame or that year. So you guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.